One of the landmark books from early 2000s is a book called Good to Great by Jim Collins. Now, this is the book that gave the business world terms like level 5 leadership, big, hairy, audacious goals, and many more. And this book is about elite companies and how they have transformed their results from what you would call good results into what one would call great results, and then sustaining these great results for at least 15 years, if not more. The research methodology that Jim Collins has used and his team have used is is very compelling in itself. First of all, for picking these companies, studying them, and contrasting them with other comparison companies, and then abstracting the themes that make up the best practices of what got them to succeed, what is common amongst what they did, and then attaching some very vivid imagery to describe these themes, giving them very interesting names and associating great stories with these themes. All of this makes it very compelling a book to read. There are 12 themes that Jim Collins uses in this book. I'll pick the one that is my personal favorite, and it's called the flywheel effect. The flywheel effect is referring to the fact that when these companies are making the transition from good to great, this is not happening in one go or with one giant fell swoop. It may be tempting to think from looking at it from the outside that there was this one genius dramatic move that was made, or a program that was rolled out, or maybe a product or an innovation, or even a lucky break that changed their fortunes. Quite the contrary, Collins actually paints this picture of some very unglamorous pushing of a giant heavy flywheel. The company is relentlessly pushing this giant flywheel turn after turn, building momentum until there's a breakthrough point. It's when these actions, some small, some large, but they're all applied in a consistent direction and they're all adding up, that's when the momentum builds up. And at some point, the wheel almost flies off and the company is pretty much unstoppable from then on. The flip side to this flywheel phenomena is what Jim Collins calls the doom loop. And this is when companies are trying things without any consistency to their direction and their action. The metaphor Collins draws is that they are pushing the flywheel first in one direction, then stopping, then chasing a new fad, getting distracted, changing course, changing direction without any careful analysis of what's working, what's not. There's no build-up. There is no accumulated momentum. So what does all of this mean to you for your own businesses? The first things first, identify what are the components of your own flywheel, so to say. The questions you should be asking yourself is, what are the drivers of our momentum? What actions make up our flywheel, and what is the sequence to these actions? Outside of this book, Jim Collins has actually shared examples of some of his consulting work with companies like Intel, Amazon, Cleveland Clinic, among others, and he has shared examples of the flywheel that he has drawn for their businesses. The one that I found interesting, though, is the one that he draws for his own work as a researcher. So as a researcher, Jim Collins starts with one big question that he's looking to answer. He researches it, he reads about it, learns about it. Then he's writing about it and teaching it in order to clarify his own thinking, and all of this then leading up to the next big question that he then wants to pursue. At Varasi, we've put a mental model, a flywheel for our own firm. As a consulting firm, what goes into our flywheel is what you would call business development, which is for generating leads. And then there is pre-sales for prior to starting each engagement. And this is where you have your discovery, we have the scoping, the proposal that we build and present, all of that resulting in projects for us. And we deliver on these projects, delight the customer, earn good reputation, build a good relationship with the customer, get to do hopefully more work at the same customer account, maybe more divisions, more processes. The clients are saying good things about us, referring us to other clients, and then the flywheel sort of rotates. And in all of this, the people-wise, we're building a pipeline of good people to recruit, train them. They are working on projects, improving their craft. And while we are doing work, we are creating good IP that we then use to promote ourselves to generate more leads. So that's our flywheel. I hope that helps. Certainly pick up the book if you haven't read it before. And if you have read it before, good time to go revisit. Like the saying goes, you never step into the same river twice. Happy reading, and see you in another Varasi video. Thank you.